Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang saranang gacchami. So I've been asked to do a 3 to 5 minute on topics that should have taken a long time to sort through and answer fully, but I'll do the best I can. My name's Ayasudama. I'm with the Charlotte Buddhist Vihara. Vihara means dwelling or a monastery. Okay, so I'm asked, can you tell us about a belief in your religion that's really important to you? So my religion is Buddhism. My school of Buddhism is Theravada, and my lineage is Sri Lankan Buddhism. And a belief in this religion that's important is that men and women are equally capable, equally have equal potential for full awakening. That's a very important belief for me. At first, I had to pause at the question because Buddhism isn't really about beliefs. We have a lot of stories, we have a lot of beliefs that are useful for helping us follow the path, but it's really about the path. And if a belief wasn't helpful to that, then it wouldn't be really part of Buddhism, would it? So the beliefs are things, understandings and history and folk tales, a lot of material that's all very good for inspiring us to walk the way of the Buddha. Are there denominations? Indeed, there are. There are 3 primary schools of Buddhism: the Theravada, or the way of the elders, the Mahayana, or the greater vehicle, and the Vajrayana, or the diamond vehicle, also known as the Tibetan school. So Buddhism went north over the Silk Route and in India, into China and Vietnam, Korea, so on. And so the kind of school that went south from India and then into the southeast, that became the Theravada school. And what went north over the Silk Route with merchant caravans and into China and these other countries, these are the Mahayana Buddhists, Korea, Vietnam, and so on. And then third school evolved with some aspects of Theravada, some aspects of Mahayana, and some aspects of the local Bon religion, plus a bit of Hinduism, and that is the Tibetan version. If you see something colorful and fascinating, it's probably Tibetan. So I like to compare them to the 3 schools of Abraham, of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, kind of similar in the way they unfolded, and they are very, very different. For me to represent all the schools of Buddhism is laughable. I'm like a Baptist preacher trying to, cover for a rabbi and for an imam. Do we have holy days? Oh yeah. Primary holy day in my school of Buddhism, which is different from the other schools, is the one known as the Buddha's birthday. We share that with the other schools. It's the full moon of May. But in our school, we also recall that the Lord got his awakening under the full moon of May, and he passed away under a full moon of May. So the 3 cardinal impacts, the 3 cardinal events of his life, his birth in the last life, his awakening, and his passing away, all happened under full moons of May. Full moon of May is huge. The other celebration that we have is the annual occasion called Katina, and it's about helping monks get requisites, robes, that sort of thing. It's kind of like Christmas for the temples. That's in the fall. Do we pray? Is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it needed? Not really. We're not looking, well, again, this differs by tradition and lineage and even who you talk to. But I mean, we acknowledge various deities and beings that are there, but in terms of your own salvation, it's up to you. The Buddha pointed the way, and other beings will cheer you on, but they're not going to save you. Do we pray? We have a lot of friends in high places. A lot of angelic beings might be helping us. So we might say, hey, angelic being, could you help us out with this and that? But I don't know if you would call that praying. We do send love. We send a lot of loving kindness, a lot of well-wishing and gladness for goodness that's in other people's lives. And we send out compassion. And that would probably serve in the place of prayer. And how often do we do it? It depends on the person. It depends on their practice. Some people are praying without ceasing, just continuously sending out love to the whole world. How many followers? I have no idea. Where in the world are the majority? I can't speak for the other schools. In my school of Buddhism, you find it in Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, I think some in Bhutan, Seems like I'm missing one. Do we speak a common language? Yes and no. There was kind of the language the Buddha spoke was, he was from the Magadha kingdom of India, and he spoke Magadhi, but over time, the language shifted, just like language among us shifts, a few hundred years, and the language is very, very different, as you can see if you go back and try to read some documents from the founding of this country. And so the language shifted a lot, and there were multiple dialects. So a combination of language change and working together with different dialects got put together in writing when Buddhism was finally written down, taken out of oral tradition into print. And that language is known as Pali, which literally refers to it being the language of the texts. It was never truly a spoken religion, but it is the religion of our text. We continue to pass along language texts that are in that original written down language. It was written down phonetically, so you can get it in Roman characters phonetically. To this day, people are studying that same language from about 2,200 years ago that it was written down. And the others, they think they study like ancient Chinese, ancient Tibetan, and there may be some ancient Sanskrit fragments. But the language of Pali, the monks and nuns often learn the Pali language, and then so people from different countries getting together might be able to communicate in that language, but it was never truly a spoken language as you think of it. Do we have a common symbol? Absolutely. The Buddha's path to awakening is called the Eightfold Path. It has 8 parts. And so a symbol of a wagon wheel with 8 spokes is the Buddhist symbol. Also, he was awakened under the Bodhi tree, and so it has a very distinctive leaf. And that leaf is also a symbol of the Lord Buddha himself. And we have other symbols too. But who do we pray to? We don't. Except as I mentioned. Is there anything you want people to know about your faith? We're more concerned about what you do than what you believe. And that's why Buddhism tends to get along with other faiths, unless there's some kind of land grab or something going on, then there's problems, like with any other people. But we don't have beliefs that we cling to, that we hang on to so much. The height of Buddhism is not a belief that's very strong. The height of Buddhism is seeing things exactly as they are, directly, clearly, here and now. And for that, you don't need a belief. In fact, you have to drop all belief. So beliefs are helpful to get us there, but they're not the ultimate endpoint. So when people come to us and they have a strong belief, we don't mind. We don't argue. We don't want to argue with anybody. You believe what you want to believe, but what does it cause you to do? Does it cause you to be kind? Does it cause you to be harmless? Then that's a good belief. If it causes you to go kill people, that's a bad belief. That's how we look at it. And so that is more than my time, I'm sure. Bless you.